put it this way.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. All right, welcome back.
We're here to fix the machine.
Battlefield Live.
You're listening to the Battlefield Live with Chris and Trey from We Are America Radio, Red State Talk Radio, Buzz Radio Network. Want to thank you for joining us on the Battlefield today. And man, we are having a blast. We're meeting all kind of people and just living it up, huh?
No, man, this is great. I mean, the different areas that we've talked to in all the interviews that we've done over the last 2 days. I mean, it's every aspect. I mean, we're covering. You could literally take our interviews and kind of package them into one show,
right? To
be a true, complete definition of conservative values and principles.
Right. Look, it's hard not to be starstruck.
And look, and we're still going to have Brigitte Gabriel on today.
Yes.
Matt Schlapp did have to cancel because he's pulled in 1.5 million directions.
Because he's probably going to go meet with somebody like Levin or one of those kind of.
Glenn Beck.
We're just right below those guys, right?
Just barely.
Just barely.
Right below.
Right below.
Yeah. So I mean, we're still gonna have and people are walking around. I think we're gonna have Mark Anthony on from the Patriot and the Preacher show.
Yes.
So that
Andrew Chavarria was here earlier. We were talking
Andrew
with him.
was here earlier.
He's really exciting. Actually, here's the man right here himself.
It was almost as if I saw it coming.
It was an apparition.
It's one person in an office, the Billy Graham Library, and prayed with the volunteers. And I looked at my mother and said, I got it. It's the Patriot and the Preacher, because that's where it all began, right? That's our history. We talk about the founders all the time because I think my thing is that we idolize the wrong people these days.
Right.
Look at all those celebrities that we say are awesome. The founders were rock stars.
Right.
Look at what they did, right?
Yeah.
That's why. So that's how this all came to be. And we've had David Barton on many times, who everybody knows well, and even Time Magazine calls him America's historian. I have one fact, and we had just walked out of the round and thanked him.
How far from that?
Look where we are now.
The one that David points out, that I learned from David as well, is the idea that one of the first books, if not the first book, that Congress allocated public funds to, like the first textbooks, if you will, for schools, was a school-sized version of the Bible.
Yeah.
Congress.
Taxpayer
dollars.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That nature. It's a path. It really is a path.
Sure.
There's all these levers and mechanisms that are being pulled by people that are trying to push us in that direction, and they always think of it as some kind of conspiracy. It's like, no, it's not a conspiracy. There's a lot of operators that understand that in order to be able to move us in that direction, that the first thing they have to do is destroy the founding of the country, destroy what has gotten us to where to be the best nation in the world,
right?
And that is our faith, that is our belief in God, because our rights come from God,
right?
And in order to destroy that, we have to is that we're on a path to socialism, and you go ahead and do. I believe there's a God, but if you don't, that's fine. At one day you're going to take that risk.
You'll find out,
right? So get the government out of all of that, and you can have exactly what you want. And when we talk to people that want gay marriage to be the government to recognize gay marriage, when you bring that up, they can't deny it. So there's something else. There's some other gravity that's actually wanting them to force us to accept it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh no, it totally makes sense. As a matter of fact, personally, people really can't call me a homophobe. My brother is gay. One of my brothers.
Okay.
I'm the oldest of 8 kids.
Right.
And so Paul has married his partner. They even have a baby together.
Right.
And so, you know, what I said to Paul not long ago is that right after the Supreme Court decision is that here's a side that demands complete tolerance of
Right.
everything that they do. But if you and I stand up, or if you and I stand up and say, wait a minute, I'm a follower of Christ. I
Right.
believe that marriage came from God because it
Right.
did.
Right.
Then all of a sudden we are called hateful. We
Right.
need to get off our high horse and all those other things. And I have a friend from the UK that says something very similar to what you said, which is
Right.
the government should have nothing to do
Right.
with sanctifying marriage.
Right.
And if you want a partner's license, you can go and get that from the government, a
Right.
civil union,
Right. Right.
and then leave it all up to you go to your pastor who's
Yes.
going to counsel you with your wife
Right.
before you get married, because that should happen anyways when you look at the divorce rate. We want to make sure
Right.
that you are equally yoked on the same page, ready to go. So here's my point, is that I don't, you know, it really, it offends me deeply when I'm told that I should look the other way, especially in the state that I herald from for the time being in California, where if you speak up, as you know, and say, listen, this institution has been around for thousands of years.
Right.
And the very fact that less than 1% of the population intimidated the Supreme Court to make that decision.
Right.
And then you know what really killed me? Is when our president uplit the White House with those rainbow colors.
Right.
Right.
You know, you probably know Rabbi